What's going on, guys? This is AndrewChicken and welcome back to another video. In this one I'm going over my picks for the top 5 best supports in Paladins. Supports are one of the most crucial roles in Paladins, able to provide healing and buffs to their team, mess up the enemy's plans using crowd control abilities, and help boost their team's damage. All the supports on this list excel at each of these criteria and can provide immense help to their team. So without further ado, let's get into the top 5 best support champions in Paladins. Number 5. Saras. In the number 5 spot we have Saras, who is one of the best supports in the realm if you're trying to score gigantic healing numbers. Saras is undoubtedly one of the best healers in the realm. She can consistently and easily heal her teammates every couple of seconds, and with her old talent Void Abides being merged into her base kit, she has an AoE heal that can save multiple allies at a time. Saras also has an incredibly strong ultimate that can snowball into team-wiping combos with another AoE ult like a King Bomb or a Barrage, which can completely turn the tide of a match. However, where Saras falls short is in her damage dealing capacity. Despite their primary purpose being to heal teammates, healers are still responsible for dealing some damage and defending themselves from the backline from flankers. Unless you go for a full damage build with Saras, this task is incredibly difficult. Saras' slow-moving projectiles are incredibly difficult to utilize at medium to long range, and serve more as a weak area denial ability than a lethal weapon. Even with a DPS build using Soul Collector, Saras doesn't become lethal until she's reached her maximum 15 stacks, which can take several seconds to do. Saras' immense healing capabilities are unquestionable, but her lackluster damage abilities keep her from ranking higher on this list. Number 4. Ying. Ying is another great support for reaching high numbers for both healing and damage. Ying has the potential to be an unsuspecting yet lethal damage dealer, as a skilled Ying with Focusing Lens can easily burst down a target, while Resonance allows for Ying to be a nuisance on point and negate enemy cover with her illusions. If she uses Life Exchange to maximize her healing potential, Ying gains a quick 800 health heal she can use alongside her illusions that automatically heals targets with the lowest HP, and she gains one of the strongest healing ultimates in the game that heals everyone, anywhere. Unfortunately, this automatic target selection is Ying's greatest downside as a healer. Healers need to be able to manually choose who to heal, as the player with the lowest HP might not always be the right choice to heal. Because Ying's illusions heal the target with the lowest HP, they'll favor a teammate at 100 HP behind cover and healing out of combat over the tank who's struggling on point. In general, the lack of control Ying has over who she heals with her illusions prevents her from placing any higher on this list. Number 3. Furia. Furia was one of the strongest supports in the realm when she was first released, but even after a slew of nerfs during her time in Paladins, she's still a potent healer and one of the strongest damage dealing supports in the game. Furia's damage potential is undeniable. At maximum wrath, her DPS easily rivals several damage and flank champions. With Exterminate, her Pyre Strike can spell doom for any unfortunate enemy caught in its blaze, and her ultimate can turn even the weakest champion into a lethal threat with its damage buff. Her healing abilities are incredibly strong too. Kindle Soul is a potent burst healing ability that can shield her allies with the Light of Dawn card, and her Pyre Strike becomes the most powerful healing ability in the game with Solar Blessing. However, Furia's damage and healing abilities are both somewhat unreliable, as charging her Wrath Bar requires her healing teammates and she doesn't spawn with a fully charged Wrath Bar. So a damage build with Furia takes time and comes at a cost to her teammates because they have to put themselves in danger for her to heal them. Furia's Pyre Strike is incredibly unreliable, both as a weapon and a healing beam. Unless you're playing Furia in a 5-man where everyone is in a voice call and you can tell your teammates where the beam is going, there's a great chance that you'll miss the beam unless you use it at point blank range. Evasive flanks are also troublesome to hit with a beam, and oftentimes even slow-moving enemies like tanks can see the beam coming and avoid it. Furia's abilities are among the strongest in the realm, but their unreliability places Furia in the number 3 spot on this list. Number 2. Maldamba. In the number 2 spot we have one of the absolute best champions in the game. Maldamba is an outstanding support, with 2 crowd control abilities, high damage potential, and 2 reliable and consistent healing abilities that make him one of the greatest healers in the game. A skilled player can turn Maldamba into one of the most threatening damage champions in the game, utilizing either Wakono's Wrath to stun his enemies and burst them down with gobs of damage, or Wakono's Curse for more consistent long-range damage over time. His Gourd is also an incredibly useful AoE healing ability that can refresh tanks struggling on the front line, or provide a group heal for the damage champions in the back. Mending Spirits is also an incredibly useful heal, and with good aim and eerie presence, it's one of the most reliable heals in the realm at any range. However, what sets Maldamba back from being number 1 on this list is a combination of 2 things: his weapon being unreliable at medium to long range, and his extremely high skill floor. Maldamba is one of the toughest champions to play in Paladins. None of his abilities are easy to use without practice. The trajectory of his Gourd, stun, and weapon are all totally different and make damage Damba almost inaccessible to new players. His Mending Spirits is also one of the more difficult heals to use for the simple fact that it's neither AoE nor aim assisted. Unlike Genos and Saras, Maldamba has to aim directly at his target to heal them, and unlike Grover, he can't simply press a button and heal everything in his radius. Even Ying has a backup heal in her illusions for when she misses with life exchange. Because of all this, Maldamba has one of the lowest win rates among all the supports. Even Genos has a higher win rate than him, and Maldamba almost ties Saras for the lowest win rate at lower skill percentiles. Even though Maldamba is one of the most difficult champions to play, a master at Maldamba can easily surpass almost all other healers in raw healing and damage output, which earns him the number 2 spot on this list. And in the number 1 spot we have the support champion who's received buff after buff recently and has risen to become the most powerful support as of late, Grover. Grover has been almost constantly buffed throughout 2018, resulting in him having the highest win rate of all the supports in patch 2.02. Over time, his Blossom has become more and more powerful, and recently with the merging of the Efflorescence talent into his base kit, he's become the absolute strongest healer in Paladins. Grover is the ultimate AoE healer. Both Blossom and Whirlwind are insanely strong group heals with absolutely gigantic radii since patch 2.01, and with Grover's Vine, he can travel almost anywhere to reach allies that need healing. Grover is also a nightmare of a healer to flank, as his Vine allows him to easily escape to hiding places some flanks struggle to reach. His Crippling Throw also stops high mobility champions in their tracks, and can spell doom for champions like Koga and Eevee who rely on their mobility to stay alive. Grover's Crippling Throw is most flanks' worst nightmare, and can save his entire backline from being wiped by an otherwise threatening flanker. Grover is no slouch when it comes to damage either. With Ferocity, Grover becomes an incredibly lethal sniper, dealing bursts of over 900 damage at long range. This is enough to send most damage champions running for their healer, and can pose a serious threat to tanks too. And with Blossom's range buff, Grover can still effectively heal his teammates while dealing serious damage, giving him the potential to be an incredibly strong hybrid support. Unlike Maldamba, Grover is incredibly easy and accessible for new players, as the only difficult portion of his kit is his primary fire, which isn't nearly as difficult to master as Maldamba's. Because of all this, Grover is without a doubt the most powerful support in Paladins. So anyways, that's the end of this video. Do you guys agree with my list? Let me know in the comments section down below. Also, make sure to like this video and subscribe if you enjoyed, and join my Discord server using the link in the description to pick up tips, leave suggestions, and become a part of our active community. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.